Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Flagler Gymnasium and Clark Family Court for some more Saints Senior Day action. The men will close out the regular season with an opportunity to make the Peach Belt tournament with a win. Landers coming into today 20-7 on the season, and they have been hot as of late, winning their last three by double digits. As for the Saints, Blake Sellen in his first year has led the Saints to a 12-16 record. They're coming off a 14-point loss at Georgia College. The last time these two teams faced off, the Saints won by 11 in overtime. I'm Jordan Fauci along with Joe Harden as we await tip-off. Let's get the starters for both sides. It's going to be Book Knight, Figueroa, Kyle Young, Boom Reeves, and Tyler Collier for the Saints. Saints are going to win the tip. It's going to be Pooh, Sherfield, Moore, Mays, and Stanford for the Bearcats. Saints coming out big here, Joe, to start out.
Coach Sellen told me that after the Georgia College game, and we talked about it our last home game here, that the defenses have been pushing out to the perimeter, trying to take away our three. And so our guards are a little bit undersized, so we thought that they would start out big today, and they have gone big because we have all three of our bigs starting.
Layup was good by Stanford. Young is going to get double teamed here, trapped down low, and he'll turn it over. Coming down is going to be Sherfield. Actually, it's going to be Moore. Nice dish to Mays, who scored the easy layup. So it's going to push the tempo. It's going to be Omar up top.
Yeah, our transition back to defense then wasn't quite where Coach was looking for it, but it's early in the game, and you've got different starters in, so I'm sure they will correct it.
Book Knight's floater is off. Coming down is going to be Sherfield, third leading scorer. Bearcats to the corner, three-pointer is going to be off. It's going to be Saints possession. Huge game here for the Saints, Joe.
Well, part of the strategy, the Georgia College game Wednesday night, Georgia College turned the tables. They shot 44% from three. We shot only 30, and they took it to us in the second half. A lot of drives.
That's a beautiful step-back three-pointer from Omar Figueroa, gets the Saints going here.
And they went to the free throw line 35 times and basically got away from us with about 5 minutes left in the game. It was pretty much over. So that's one to take out of the memory bank and go after the big W today.
It's going to be Stanford one-on-one with Boom Reeves. He'll get down low, dish it off, layup. Going to be off from Mays. Good defensive possession there for the Saints.
So I love the defense there because we really protected the rim, and we also protected the rebounding.
Young operating up top here. Looking to work into Collier. It's going to be Boom Reeves in the corner. They're going to let him take the three. It's 0 for 2 from deep to start out. Moore coming down. Stanford. Moore. His three-pointer. No good. Saints doing a good job on the glass there. Team effort. Omar coming downhill. Kick it out to Book Knight. Book Knight from deep. It's good. Saints take the lead here.
Well, that's a good start from three-point range. And part of that is because of our bigs in there. Lander has to respect our back to the basket play, thereby leaving some of the guards with a little more room to shoot.
Mays down low, kick it out. Stanford from the top of the key. Boom Reeves able to collect the board. Book Knight up top. In the Collier. Down low, Kyle Young. Over three. Outstretched Bearcats defenders. Young able to put his first shot attempt into the net. Saints lead 8-4. We're going to have a substitution here. Spencer Bain going to be the first guard off the bench for the Saints.
Yeah, Kyle did some great footwork underneath there, and he didn't overdo it. The third man came in, but by then he had
Stanford elevating. Wow. Able to finish that. That's an athletic layup there. As you were saying, great footwork there from Young down low.
And he went up and had a very high percentage shot and finished it off.
So it's looking to work to Young on the low block. Just throwing defenders off, and he's going to get called for the offensive foul. Blake Sellen not happy with the call. It's right on that line there, Joe. Well, trying to create space.
Coach Blake saw Kyle get the ball, and immediately the Lander defender had pushed him out, and so Kyle on his reversal, it looked like that he just dropped his shoulder and bounced him back, but it was really the second foul. It was almost a reaction thing. Oh. But Kyle is going to have to understand that they are going to be physical with him. So his decision making is going to be crucial as to how long he can stay on the floor. That's going to be very, very important because we need that rebounding and we need that presence down low in the paint.
Talented, one of the most talented bigs we've had here in the last couple of years. In a Saints uniform, just an expert with the footwork. Saints lead 8-6. We're going to thank a few of our corporate sponsors. Flagler fans, if you want to support all Flagler athletic teams, join the Saints Club. Visit www.flaglerathletics.com and click on the Saints Club link for details.
And just to add to that, Jordan, when we played Lander earlier in the year up in Greenwood, South Carolina, Kyle played 22 minutes, had 18 points. Shot over 50%, so he was critical in that win. I also might add that was one of the stranger games because it's very tough to win away. We had held a 6, 7, 8-point lead through most of the second half. They caught us. We went into overtime and made all 11 free throws to put the W on the board.
Three-pointer from the corner for the Bearcats is good. That'll be Jalen Pooh with his first bucket of the ball game. Young operating top of the key, fakes the dribble handoff, double teamed, drops a shoulder, and is going to head to the line for two on the contact.
Now the difference there, Jordan, is he dropped down low and came up on a shot fake, and the defender was already over his back, so it's not like he came in and moved horizontally and knocked him off. So
Young draining the first one.
Yeah, I alluded to the first time we played them in overtime. Our Flagler Saints made 11 of 11 from the free throw line to bring that victory.
Stanford getting downhill is going to head to the line for two. Two quick fouls here for Kyle Young. Saints might have to look to the bench here. 11 for 11 in overtime, though. Coach's best really gets a coach happy as Stanford will miss the first one. Malik Bryant will enter the game. Saints leading scorer, averaging 16 a game. Not getting the nod today in the starting lineup.
Well, the best thing about that win up at Lander was you're not going to be able to hold on to a lead all second half on the other team's gym. But when we got to overtime, the composure was great. We didn't try to do too much. And by getting to the free throw line, we just slowly put them away. It was a great win.
Bryant up top. In the Collier. Collier not able to get a handle on the pass. Will be the second Saints turnover so far.
The teams are feeling each other out here, Jordan. We're 10-10. Nobody's really established a rhythm. And we made a little bit note of the starting lineup for Lander. They don't have 3 of their top scorers in. Not sure what that's all about.
Stanford able to hit the 12-footer. Jacob Cooper making his first appearance in the game here for the Bearcats. Looks like they may be resting some of their starters, or their regular starters, it seems.
Yeah, and Cooper is their leading scorer. So,
freshman from Virginia Beach. It's going to be Saints possession as Saints will have 14 seconds on the shot clock, trailing by 2. 14 minutes here in the first half. Bryant at the top of the key. Going downhill, athletic layup just rattles out. To the corner, Stanford. Takes the shot, kicks to Cooper. Cooper through the lane. Turns it over. Bryant getting downhill. Saints going to slow it down. Collier blowing by his defender, getting to the basket, and will head to the line for 2.
Very strong move by Tyler Collier. And again, we're going to need that to keep the defense honest. They had the whole lane wide open, and Tyler made a great foot fake and went by his man.
For a big, he has great foot speed. Able to blow by his defender there. And part of Blake Sellen's philosophy, a great three-point shooting team the Saints are, with that 5-out approach, especially when Young's not on the court. Able to give the Saints some space. Collier drains the first of 2 at the line. Saints trail by 1. Jang Agek along with Nigel Colvin in. Saints trying to steal it as some great Lander hustle. Cooper outside. Sherfield in the corner. Great drive. Rebound collected and put back in by Agek. Agek, the junior from Glendale, Arizona, standing 6'7". He transferred from Northern Arizona University. Bryant kicks to Collier. His three-pointers, good. Saints tie it up here with 12:45 left in the first.
Well, that was a real important shot. Number one, that gives Tyler some confidence, and the rhythm that he was into then was great. The other thing is, the Lander coach has brought in the big guy. We only have Tyler in there right now. That paid off dividends with the offensive rebound.
Sherfield driving, kicking, corner 3. Rattles out. Sherfield's going to draw the whistle. Malik Bryant with his first personal. The Lander possession down low. Sherfield isolated on Book Knight. Dishes it off, and a huge dunk there for Agek.
So that's kind of a problematic matchup right now because Sherfield, he is long and lanky at 6'7", and he was taking Malik down low. We tried to double, and he made a great pass over to Albank, and he laid it in.
Bryant for 3. Off the back rim. Lander looking to push the tempo here. Augustave, his three-pointer rattles out. Saints doing a better job on the boards there. Team rebounding. Good sign. Looks like Boom Reeves and Jalen Lemon set to come in for the Saints. Collier at the elbow. Trying to work it to Omar. It's going to be Bain up top. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Omar, step back three. Sherfield collects the board. Agek skying and laying it in. The size and athleticism of Ajan Agek able to get him 6 early points here in the first half. 3 of 3 shooting for the big man from Glendale, Arizona. Bouknight out to Collier. Take another three and hit. Tyler Collier 2 for 2 from deep. He has 7 here in the first half.
So we have 17 points. I believe 15 of them are due to threes, which is a good sign because that's one of our strengths.
Up top here to Cooper. Cooper, free throw line jumpers, good. Cooper averaging 13 on the year for the Bearcats. One of 4 Bearcats to average double figures on the year. Bouknight, Collier. Five seconds on the shot clock. Bouknight trying to work off the dribble. Going to put up a prayer and hit over the outstretched arm of Sherfield.
Jax was down to the 11th hour there. I mean, he had nothing left and put up a nice soft teardrop. Nothing but net. That's a big basket.
Saints able to get the stop. Bryant on the baseline. Bryant faking off the screen. Collier from 3. Just off the back rim and out. Cooper bringing it back down now for the Bearcats. Blocking foul call on Omar Figueroa. That's his first personal. Media timeout here. Thank a few of our corporate sponsors. Applebee's, there's no place like the neighborhood. Academy Bus, we know the way. Anchor Faith, a community of people passionate about Jesus. And A.D. Davis Constructions, builders, developers, and contractors. Saints clicking from deep, shooting 44%, 4 of 9 here in the first half. As for Lander, getting most of their damage done inside the painted area. They have 12 paint points as compared to Flagler's 2.
And Jordan, ever since Ajang Agwek has come in and Flagler has been in a zone, they have been able to penetrate, and as soon as we go to help, they've done a great job of bounce passing to him for the open dunk or open layup. So we're going to have to see what Coach Sellen comes up with here to mitigate that.
Doesn't help that Kyle Young in early foul trouble picked up 2 within the first around 8 minutes of the ball game. That size would definitely help on Agek. Boom Reeves checking in here for the Saints. Perhaps a bit more athleticism offered from Reeves as compared to Tyler Collier. McKay up top to the wing. Colvin, his 3-pointer's off. Saints gonna get possession here as the offensive board was swatted away by Lemons off the leg of Agek.
Jalen made a great hustle play there because Agek had Boom on his back and it looked like it was going to be an offensive rebound, but Jalen got his hands in there and bounced it off his knee, as you said.
Saints work it down to Reeves. He has McKay on him, kicks it out now. Mismatch here for Bryant. Bryant able to take the contact and convert. Took the harm and able to head to the line here for a three-point play opportunity. That's a great finish over a 6'7" center.
I don't think that I've seen that shot from Malik before. He went left, he spun right, and then he kind of went up and under to the left around Abject. He had both hands on the ball way out on the left and threw kind of a spinner off the glass and in. I mean, that's
It's one heck of a finish. The kids are calling that jelly nowadays when they get that spin off the glass. Cooper coming down. Bryant unable to hit the free throw. We've got 8 minutes left here in the first half. Saints lead by 1. Cooper into Agyek. This is Pooh. Spinning fadeaway jumper off the front rim. Bryant going to take it here for the Saints. Try to go coast to coast. He'll retreat out.
That was fortunate that we didn't have a turnover there.
Bryant getting downhill. Got a offensive foul on the illegal screen from Boom Reeves. Timeout taken here by the Bearcats.
Well, the good news, Jordan, is right now the Flagler zone has been pretty effective in keeping Lander off the board over the last 2 minutes or so. They haven't scored. On the other side, however, we haven't been unable to get into an offensive rhythm, so we haven't scored either. But we do have a 1-point lead at 21-20.
Interesting fact here, the Bearcats really deep on the bench, already have had 10 players check in. Really deep rotation here for head coach Omar Wadded.
Well, I'm hoping that Flagler can get to the half and have a little bit of a lead and then be able to use all their weapons in the second half, because we certainly don't want to bring Carl Young back in over the remaining 7.5 minutes. We don't want that third foul. That's number one. Tyler Collier's available, but right now Coach Selland has 4 guards and Boom Reeves on the floor. So let's see if we can get a couple of good looks and continue to stymie Lander on defense.
It'll be Bearcats possession here. Jacob Cooper bringing it up. Saints showing some pressure here in the backcourt. Cooper down low. That's Mays. Mays with his 4th point on the great feed there from Cooper. Turned over by the Saints. Bodies hitting the deck here. Who thought about a 3? Cooper traveled on the step back.
Oh, I'm glad that was called, because he has made that move 2 or 3 times, and I know on one of them he definitely traveled. They didn't pick it up, so that's a plus to get that turnover right now. And as we saw in their previous possession, that's the one issue when you're going to play zone. You just can't allow that penetration, because Boom came over to help and they just bounced it underneath and got a layup.
Lemons up top here, feeding to Collier. Lemons one-on-one is going to call for the high screen and roll. Get downhill and throw it away. A little bit of a miscommunication from the Saints guards. That's their 6th turnover of the game. First for Lemons.
Yeah, that's one area that the coaches will address at halftime. We're not being pressed. Yes, they are extending their perimeter defense, but we can't afford those kind of costly turnovers.
Dominique Stanford re-entering the game here for the Bearcats. Going to be Cooper up top. He'll pull a three and hit from deep. Cooper shooting 45% from three-point land on the season, a deadly shooter. Really extending the defense of the Saints. Bryant. A blocking foul called as Bryant was thrown out of bounds. The Saints possession on the baseline here.
And that's a good effort, Jordan, because we need to press the issue and get down into the lane and not let Lander be comfortable just extending the perimeter.
Lemons up top here, 15 seconds on the shot clock. Doing a good job of keeping Cooper on his back. Ryan thinking about a three. Gonna have to ISO with 5 seconds left. Actually, high screen and roll. He'll pull a three. Saints, good job on the offensive boards. Boom, Reeves skying for the rebound. Taps it to Jalen Lemons, who will put the layup up and in.
What a great effort, and that's what it's going to take to win this game. Second and third and even fourth effort. We got the offensive rebound. We missed 3 shots, but we finished with a layup.
Saints trail by 2. Cooper coming downhill. Nice skip pass to Mays. His three-pointer's good. Mays has 7 now.
Yeah, those are the ones that hurt. He's only taken 12 threes the whole conference season and only made 3.
Bouknight trying to get it to Reeves down low. The turnover. Good hands there from Sherfield. Seems like an almost hockey-style substitution pattern here for the Bearcats as Colvin entering the game. Agyek up top. Sherfield. This is Cooper. His floater. It's off. Mays. Offensive board. We put it back up. Blocked by Reeves, and it'll be Saints possession.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. You mentioned Agyek. You know, offensively, his stats aren't overwhelming, but he is such a good facilitator out there, and you cannot fall asleep on him because then he slips out in the back door for a dunk or layup.
Really smart player. The transfer from Arizona. Great finish from Malik Bryan going over Agyek. It's Bryan's second basket of the game. He has 4 on 2 of 5 shooting. Colvin up top. Cooper. Sherfield really loses it. He's doubled down low. Out to Cooper with 4 seconds on the shot clock. Cooper lobbing it up. Agyek unable to put up or get the layup to fall. Ahead to Bryan. Bryan's layup is good.
What a great pass from Jack Bouknight. Caught Malik right in stride. He never put it to the floor and laid it in. So we've had a nice little 6-0 run here to get ourselves back in the game at 28-27, just down 1 point.
That 6-0 run forcing Omar Watad call a timeout here. Tyler Collier leading all Saints with 7 points. Stanford and Mays both with 7 here for the Bearcats. And thank a few of our corporate sponsors here. The Bailey Group, no matter where you want to go, we'll help you get there. B&S Signs, quality signage and service. When it comes to signs, we do it all. Ameris Bank, savings for the expected or unexpected. Atlantic Dodge, proud supporter of Flagler Athletics. Birchall & Company, find your home today, and Carmelo's, delivering old world quality. Saints have cooled down as of late from three-point land. Only shooting 4 of 11 now, 36%. As for Lander, 3 of 10, 30% from three-point land.
Well, the good news so far, Jordan, is the game has been very entertaining. Each coaching staff has been experimenting with different lineups and trying to get a feel for what's going to work tonight. We've been battling back and forth. No one team has really had an advantage. It's really important for Flagler to be able to maintain the rebounding equity, because when they played last up in Greenwood, Lander out-rebounded them by quite a bit. So far, the rebounding is even, and we have a one-point game.
Mays. Sherfield up top to the corner. This is Cooper, his three-pointer. Off the front rim. Omar pushing the tempo here. Book Knight. Collier operating the top of the key. Hand it off here to Lemons. Lemons probing. Book Knight up top. Into Collier, got some great position but was thrown out by Agjek. Collier misses the hook. Cooper coming back down. To the corner, Colvin, his three-pointer's off. So it's slowing it down here. To the corner, this is Bryant. Collier operating at the free throw line. Unable to take advantage. Collier from deep. His three-pointer is good. Oh, Collier hot from three-point land. 3 of 4 as he leads all scorers with 10. As you were saying, he hit that first 3 and he's been in a rhythm ever since.
That is huge tonight, especially where Kyle Young's going to have to sit on the bench till the second half with the foul situation.
Colvin from the corner. The corner's off. Able to tap his own miss back to Agjek. Cooper up top. Book Knight able to steal pick his pocket on the crossover. Bryant trying to get downhill to the corner to Lemons.
That was a real good defensive stand. And Jalen made a great steal.
Collier up top. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Omar gonna take a 3. Just off right there. Cooper coming downhill. Corner Sherfield. Active hands from Book Knight. Cooper driving. Acrobatic layup, able to go. Great finish from Jacob Cooper. All tied up at 30 with 35 seconds left here in the half. Bryant has Mays on him. He's going to get into their action here. Bryant pumping to the corner. Collier. Lemons. Three-pointers off. Cooper coming down with 5 seconds on the shot clock. He'll drive and draw some contact. Foul's going to be on the floor.
Good foul.
Smart foul there.
That puts us at the limit at 6, but they won't be going to the line, and we've now got it down to 1.7 seconds because he had a clear lane to the hoop and was going to finish, so we got to him before that happened.
Pretty much a catch and shoot opportunity here for the Bearcats. will try and get it in here to Pooh. Saints able to steal it. The attempt there from Lemons just off. Gonna head to halftime, all tied up at 30. Tyler Collier leading all scorers with 10 first half points, 3 of 5 from the field, but more importantly, 3 3-pointers. What you see here in the first half, Joe, really allowed this game, the Saints and the Bearcats, to have a competitive one.
Well, as we said earlier, each coach put in a different starting lineup than we've seen in the last 10 games, and they were feeling each other out. Flagler went big, and then Lander came in with their lanky object, and he had an impact for a while. He did play the rest of the half, which puts him almost at his regular game playing minutes. So we've been going back and forth. Both these teams average about 80 points a game, so we're under their regular offensive output. And I haven't seen either team get to a point where they have established themselves either inside or outside. And I would say the advantage might be slightly with Lander in that you just mentioned Tyler Collier is the leading scorer with 3 threes, but he's got 10 points. That's not normally what you expect from our post player. So it's a good sign, especially when we get to the second half, and it'll be interesting to see if Coach Sellen starts the second half with both Kyle and Tyler in the game.
And we take a brief break here. We're going to have Senior Day here for Saints Pep Band and the Saints cheerleaders. So stay tuned for that. We'll be back in about 12 or so minutes with the second half of Saints basketball action live from St. Augustine. And we are back now for the second half of this Saints Senior Day action, live in St. Augustine. Assistant coach of the women's basketball team, Joe Hardin here, helped me out with color commentary. I want to take us through that women's game. Heartbreaking loss for you guys on Senior Day, but some great performances from the two seniors.
Well, let me first say that we have a great young group of ladies. We have a young team, and we graduated two seniors today. Maya Pierce and Sophie Van Dyke, both post players. And you couldn't ask for two more passionate, joyful players out there, leaders on the team. And the team itself, it was a very, when I look at the statistics for the game, Lander and Flagler both took the same amount of shots, 70 shots. We both scored the same amount of threes. The free throws were even. You would expect all that right in a 67-66 game. We made a couple of mental errors in overtime, which I attribute to all the energy that we expended in the fourth quarter, because we made a terrific 14-point deficit up to end the game tied to get into overtime. And the girls played great. And actually, the good thing is they all felt very supportive of each other. It was not a somber locker room after the game. They knew they worked hard. And I commend them for putting forth that effort. It's been a long season. We've had a string of injuries. I'm not going to detail it, but ever since Game 3, we've not had a game with a full team. But they put forth a great effort, and we had a good crowd. You saw the families come out to the floor. The ladies got their photographs and signatures for the team and the flowers. So it ended on a very high note.
Especially with such a young team, too, to have those late game moments kind of building for the future. When you have a young backcourt like that to kind of cut their teeth in a tight game, an overtime game.
No, it was a great effort. And when you look at our scoring average, we're just under 60 points. But to be able to be down 14, put 25 points up in the fourth quarter, and hold the other team to 11, that's really, really a fantastic effort. So my hat's off to them.
And we are back now for the second half here. Saints need to win to get into the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. All tied up at 30. Tyler Collier leading all scorers with 10 points. Been hot from three-point land, 3 of 4 from deep.
And we have gone back, Jordan, to the lineup that we started the game with. So we have our three bigs in. Let's see if we can get some distance from Lander.
To the corner, this is going to be Stanford. He misses on the three. Kicked out, this is Moore. His three-pointer's off. Young able to use his size there. Grab the board. Collier thought about a three for a second. This will slow it down. This is Book Night up top. It's looking to feed it to Young. Boom, Reeves slamming it home, giving the Saints the lead here in the second half. The overcommitment from the Lander defense there on Young.
Well, you have to attribute that to the ball movement. That was the best playmaking that I've seen in a while. And Boom waited for the right moment, went backdoor for the dunk.
Pull-up jumper's good from Tommy Moore, all tied up at 32 now. Collier hits the floor. They're trying to work it in to Young. We have a whistle here.
And I think that's what we're going to have to continue to do, Jordan, is grind this out a little bit and see if we can put some space between ourselves and Lander. And that may open up the outside three-point shooting.
Top here, Young. Works into Collier. Collier sees the double team, kicks it out. Gets it right back. Spacing not great for the Saints as they'll turn it over. This is Sherfield driving down. He'll kick it to the wing for Pooh. His three-pointer's good. Look Knight up top here.
And that's the worst case scenario every time that you turn the ball over. It gives the other team a good transition. And Pugh had wide open look at the three, and he nailed it.
Look Knight working down low, will hit the fadeaway jumper. Really composed shot attempt there. Patient offense for the Saints guard.
Good recognition by Jax that he had a distinct advantage on the defender.
Stanford driving an athletic layup over two outstretched Saints defenders. He has 9. Back and forth here in the second half. Bearcats lead by 3. Omar. Young's going to take a three-pointer, missed short. Moore coming back down. Great spin move, kick to Stanford. Stanford's going to go up, take the harm and the foul, and that's a costly foul for Kyle Young. That's his 3rd personal. And we're going to see head coach Blake Sellen go immediately to the bench. Young's going to come out, Bain's going to enter. Stanford heading to the line to convert the three-point play here. He has 11. The opportunity to make it 12.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate sequence. Lander recognized that Jax on the attempted steal had gone down to the floor, so all of a sudden they had an advantage and they attacked the middle. And I know Coach Blake was motioning to Kyle to keep his arms straight up in the air and not try to block the shot, just make it difficult.
Backdoor cut, beautiful feed from Collier. Omar able to reverse it in.
That was a big basket because Lander had stretched the lead to 6 points, and we needed to put something through the hoop to keep them from going on a run here.
Moore up top. ISO on Bain. Stanford spinning and finishing through the contact. That could have been a three-point play as it looked like Reeves caught him. Book Knight's going to pull up from deep. Two-pointer rattles out ahead to Sherfield. Layup's going to be good. 8-point lead now for the Bearcats. Looks like Lemons and Bryant set to enter here for the Saints.
Yeah, we're right in the danger zone, Jordan. Lander's got a little bit of a run going.
Omar drawing the foul there on Moore.
And holds an 8-point advantage. And we do not want it to get to double figures. Because right now the points for either team are not going on the board that quickly, that overcoming a 10-point lead is going to be an easy task.
Have a media timeout here. I'm going to thank a few of our corporate sponsors as the Saints cheer squad comes onto the court. Carmelo's, delivering old world quality. Carrabba's, so close you can taste it. South State Bank, welcome to banking forward. Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. Pizzali's Chianti Room, for the true Italian food connoisseur. And Capital Financial Strategies, a full-service financial company serving North Florida and South Georgia. Bearcats leading by 8 here. Saints going to have 2 free throws coming out of the timeout. It's going to be Saints possession on the baseline.
I guess they did not call it an act of shooting, so they'll have 20 seconds on the shot clock to put together a play here.
Bryant set to inbound. We get a foul here It's going to be on Poe, the guard here for the Bearcats. Actually, they called that on Dominic Stanford. That's his third personal.
Yes, he pushed off.
On the Bain screen, it appears. Bryant up top. Collier. Lemons taking the screen, looking to get downhill, kicks it. Collier gonna pump one, take a three. An off-balance attempt there for Collier. Saints looked out of sorts there on that offensive possession. Gonna be Mays up top. He has 7 so far. Gonna take it to the baseline, to the corner. Three-pointer is off. Saints do a good job here on the offensive boards. They're gonna get tied up. I believe it's going to be Saints possession coming off of the jump ball.
That was a good defensive stand by the Saints. Twice they sealed that lane and still recovered to challenge that three-pointer from the corner. I thought for a minute there that Jalen might have a breakaway, but it was a tough ball to pick up on the fly.
Bryant, top of the key. Gonna drive, spin, put up a layup, and sink it. A tough bucket there for Malik Bryant. He has 8 now on the game.
Every basket is a big basket, Jordan, but we whittled it down to 6.
Mays up top. Throwing Collier to the ground. Missed the easy 2. Saints catch a break, and they'll come back down after the defensive rebound. Collier. This is Lemons. Working on Stanford. Gonna kick it out here. Saints have 15 on the shot clock. Bryant in the ISO. Gonna take it into the post. Nearly turning it over. Saints going to have 2 seconds on the shot clock. We're going to get a substitution here on the Lander side. Sherfield's going to come out. This is going to bring in Colvin. Colvin 0 for 4 from the field. Actually, he's only attempted 3-pointers thus far. Unable to connect on any of them. Omar is going to put up the mid-range jumper. Off the front rim and out. Mays able to collect the board. Pull up 3 here for Moore, and that's good.
Yeah, the Saints executed that baseline inbound very well. Omar had a good look, just couldn't quite finish.
And coming back down, we're able to sink the pull-up 3. Saints trailing by 9 now. Lemons getting downhill. Collier with a mismatch down low, and Stanford. 3-pointers good for Lemons. We're going to get a timeout taken by the Saints as they cut the lead to 6. It's one of those threes where Lemons sees the mismatch down low, doesn't elect to send it down low, but he knows that if he misses that, Collier has a good opportunity on the offensive glass.
Absolutely, and they had enough distance between them that it was going to take a real finesse pass to make sure that it got there safely. And I think he made the right decision because he had a good look at it. And so now we're back down to a 6-point deficit, very manageable. But we need to make a few defensive stands right now. The one thing that I see so far this half, Jordan, is Lander has been very opportunistic on some of the Flagler field goal misses in going into transition with an advantage and coming away with production. And that's the difference right now. This game was tied at halftime, but Lander now holds a 6-point advantage.
13:23 left here in the second half. Saints trailing by 6. Will be Omar, Lemons, Bryant, Bain, and Young entering back in. He has 3 personal fouls here. Have to watch out.
Well, this will be an interesting segment because right now when I look on the floor, I'm going to say there's an advantage for Flagler having Kyle back in. The question is, let's execute and make sure we come away with something.
Saints in the 3-2 zone here to start it out, coming out of the timeout. Colvin, Moore. Working it around, they get it down to Colvin. Baseline jumper's no good, he's 0 for 5 today.
I like Coach Sellen's strategy there. Lander could not get the ball inside.
3-pointer from Omar is going to be short, but he's going to head to the line for 3. Huge free throws here for the Saints. They can make it a 1-possession ball game.
And we mentioned earlier when Flagler was in the zone that the key there is to prevent the Lander guards from getting penetration into the paint, because then that puts us in a disadvantage and allows Lander's inside guys to get layups.
So we haven't seen much of Zhang Ajak in the second half here. Played 11 minutes in the first half and was 13 minutes in the first half and was hyper efficient from the field, scoring on all 3 of his shot attempts, also collecting 4 boards.
I agree with you, Jordan. Again, they had the advantage there, and it was the Tyler Collier 10 points, which kind of made up the difference, but you can't expect him to come out in the second half and go 3 for 5 from the 3. That's not what we're looking for.
Bearcats up top. They're working around. Some good heads-up defense there from Bain. He'll get called for the kicked ball violation, but prevents an open 3 from the corner. Going to be 20 seconds on the shot clock here for Lander.
Well, we're going to have to work really hard here. We want to make sure we don't give Jacob Cooper a chance to cut into the seam and get to the rim.
Tall task here for the Saints guards. Phenomenal off or on the ball as Colvin will get the layup to fall.
Well, at least Kyle Young had the smarts not to go after that aggressively.
Bryant getting downhill to Young. He'll get called for a travel here.
Yeah, that was a tough call because he took some body from the defender. So I'm not sure that didn't cause it. It was, to me, a no call because it seemed like the ball was out of his hand anyway.
Saints coming out with some pressure here in the backcourt. Now sinking down into that 3-2 zone. Deep 3 from Pooh, and he'll hit it.
Wow.
He has 9 points. All of his damage coming from behind the arc. They're trying to get it into Young in the high post here. We're going to get a timeout.
I mean, he's a 30% three-point shooter, and he's only been averaging 17 minutes a game. So, and he took that one over by the coach's mark on the sideline there. That was a real bomber, which I thought early in the shot clock, they only had a 6-point lead. A 5-point lead, excuse me. Now it's 8.
Well, they say it's a bad shot until it goes through the hoop.
Well, it's one of those. The coach is on the sideline. No, yes!
Ready to pull him out if he misses it.
Yeah, exactly.
But Pooh gets that one to fall. A bit of a heat check for him. 3 for 4 from deep. Dominic Stanford leading all scorers for the Bearcats with 14. He's taken out in exchange for Pooh after he picked up his 3rd personal foul. Tyler Collier still the leading scorer here for the Saints with 10.
Well, and Jordan, if you take away Pugh's 3 for 4, Lander would only be shooting like 22-23% from the three-point land, but because of his shots, they're up at almost 32%, which is good, but not great. And he's really hurt us.
Yeah, he's hit half of their three-pointers on the day.
And he seemed to have hit them when we've been starting to generate a little momentum. And
it's going to be Saints possession here. Omar up top. Leave it off to Bryant. Lemon's getting downhill. Tough fall away jumper's no good.
He got fouled on that. I don't know.
And he'll pick up a frustration foul there.
Yeah.
Trying to pick the pocket of Cooper in the backcourt.
You know, when people will say, Coach, how do you know he got fouled there? Well, he had a straight-on look at the basket, and he made his motion. I saw the hand low, but the ball didn't even reach the rim. Now, he's going to hit the rim with his shot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't blocked.
Who takes another three, but they're going to get an illegal screen.
Thank goodness he nailed it.
Hey, hit another deep three, but I believe they're going to get number 21, Nigel Colvin, on the illegal screen. He'll break there for the Saints. They trail by 8 with 11 minutes left here in the second half. Tough turnover there as Lemon's unable to get a handle on the pass. Routine pass there from Bryant. Lemon's going to take a seat on the bench. Book Knight will re-enter. Pretty much a playoff game here for the Saints.
Absolutely.
You win and you get into the tournament. They need a comeback here in the second half. They're going to continue their season. Attacking off the catch is Moore. His floater misses, but tapped back up and in by Maves. Maves has 9 on the day.
And that was a quiet 9 until that basket. That was a loud putback.
Skip pass from Young to the corner and a beautiful pass and an even better shot there from Omar. Real high-level basketball pass there from Kyle Young.
Well, it couldn't have come at a better time. After that last 3 from Lander, we needed to answer back. So
Cooper working his magic here on the baseline. Steps out.
Dribble. Yeah.
So they're going to get him for the double dribble. Huge turnover there for the Saints.
I'm going to be a cheerleader right now, Jordan. Come on, guys. We need a basket here. This is when we can start to make a run.
Book Knight's going to attack. Young thought about a 3. Going to take it down low now. Working on Mays. Kicked out. Book Knight for 3. Just off the front rim. Rebound collected by Mays. He'll attempt a 3 and hit. We'll go on Mays with 12 now. His first three-pointer of the game.
He's only taken 12 threes all conference season, shooting like 25%.
Young's going to pick up his 4th foul on the illegal screen, and also a tech is going to be awarded. The technical foul, I believe, is going to be awarded to Book Knight. Actually, no, they're going to, it's going to go on Book Knight. The technical, that's going to be Kyle Young's 4th personal foul. Technical free throw is good for Cooper. I understand why Book Knight's so mad about the call. He was getting pretty obviously grabbed coming off of that screen. You could see the jersey pulls from our vantage point. No call from our referee crew here, and Book Knight let him know after the costly foul on Kyle Young. 12-point advantage now for the Bearcats.
And that's one situation coaches warn, especially the post players. High ball screens, you cannot move. I mean, the referees look for that. So that's part of the development that Kyle will need going forward.
Beautiful crossover and finish from Tommy Moore. He has 7 on the game now. Bain will pull a 3. It's off. Cooper, he'll take a 3. Going to get another illegal screen call. Pooh will pick up his first personal foul. Saints really need to get back on track now. They trail by 14 with just under 9 minutes left in the second half.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We had it to 5, then it went to 7. Now all of a sudden in the last 2 minutes, they've scored 7 straight points.
Omar with a tough contested 3. Tyler Moore was all up in his kitchen there, but Omar able to rise and fire. And he has 14 now, leading Saints scorers. It's 3 of 5 from three-point land as well. Saints cut it to an 11-point lead. Mays going to take a second 3 here. Off the back rim and out. Omar fighting through some contact. Collier, his layup's good. Saints cut it to 9.
Love to see that transition. I love even better the fact that Omar, what great hustle to get that offensive rebound and control it. And Tyler did a great job getting down the floor for the layup.
You always have to reward your big man when he's running down the floor like that. Mays hops that. Going to be a foul on the floor here. Going to get a timeout called.
They are very fortunate. I thought that I think they called the foul on Jax. I'm not sure where they're going to the bench with it, but
it actually called on Boom Reeves.
Oh, okay. I thought that Jax got his hand on the ball and that the ball handler traveled first, and then they called the foul. But the referee was not in a great position there. But he definitely did the shuffle and got away with it.
Take us through what you think the Saints need to do to really get back into this. They've cut the lead down now to 9.
That word patience immediately comes to mind, and you've just got to have the mental stamina to take it in 2-minute segments here. Let's say there's 7.5 minutes, so you've got almost 4 2-minute segments. And try to make up a little bit at a time so that when we get down to that 2-minute, minute and a half mark, it's a 1-point game. And, now it's going to be who plays better defense and who executes better. But you're not going to make it up in 2 minutes, so don't try to do too much.
As we await the inbound here for the Bearcats, some more scores from around Saints Athletics. Flagler College softball swept Georgia College today in a doubleheader. Flagler baseball lost 12-3 as they fall to 0-12 on the season. And the previous game of this doubleheader, Saints women's basketball closing out in a heartbreaking overtime loss, 67-66. It's going to be Bearcats' possession here. They lead by 9 with 7:38 left in the second half. Saints need to win or they head home. Well, where their season ends, will be Mays up top. To the wing, this is Moore, pull-up jumper, just off. Boom Reeves skying for the rebound. Saints looking to get back down here, get into some early offense.
And I like that, Jordan. I meant to say when we cut back in here that Coach Blake has gone a little bit bigger. Tyler Collier is still in the game at the 5, but he's brought Boom Reeves in at the 4, which is going to give us a lot more athleticism and a lot more rebounding opportunities, because Boom is really going to have to go after the rebounds on both ends. That's, if you want to be able to get back in this game and have a chance to win, you're going to have to out-rebound Lander the rest of the way.
Not quite sure what the stoppage there was all about. Bryant getting downhill. His layup's good.
I thought there was an and one there. That was a fair amount of contact. What great body control Malik showed on that bank shot.
Like an acrobat up in the air, just contorted his body and fighting off contact. Saints cut it now down to 7. Cooper from 3. It's good. Double figure lead now for the Bearcats. Cooper with 12 on the game. Omar is going to fire one of his own and hit. Omar with 17, leading all scorers now. 4 of 6 from three-point land.
A big, big answer right there.
Kind of anything you can do, I can do better.
Well, we hopefully Lander has run out of there. Oh, great defense by Tyler.
Tyler coming over on the help.
No, he's got to see that. Yeah.
Got to help out your teammate there and let him know that he has a defender behind him. Tough turnover there after a great defensive stop for the Saints. 7-point lead here for the Bearcats. Just under 6 minutes. Mays isolated up top. Colvin penetrating, patient floater attempt. Going to be off. Saints coming back down after the miss. Collier. The dribble handoff action here. Bryant getting downhill. Kick it to Collier. His three-pointer rattles just out. Boom Reeves coming down awkwardly on his right ankle. Bryant going to take the foul there. Boom Reeves down in some serious pain here. Both teams going to head to the bench area as our trainers come out to take a look at Boom Reeves. I'm going to thank a few of our corporate sponsors here. Evans Automotive, quality work at a fair price. Fish Bites, set the hook. 5-star pizza, bigger, better, faster. Flagler Hospital, excellence as a way of life, and Hero of Florida, your partner for the complete equipment lifestyle. Reeves helped to the sideline here by our Flagler athletic training staff. He's actually going to head back to the locker room.
Well, Jordan, that's a real blow right now, because I sensed that the Flagler men had a little bit of momentum going, and the gym would have been in a roar if Tyler's 3 had gone down and got us to a 4-point differential. But that's not the case. We're just going to have to dig in here and play defense. 5 minutes left to go.
He's going to bring Kyle Young back into the game. He has to be careful. He has 4 personal fouls on the day. Three-pointer looks like he got blocked by Malik Bryant. Athletic play for him in the corner. Get it right back. Good work operating on Pooh in the post. Able to spin, take the contact, and head to the line for 2. Really just asserting his dominance. The Saints' leading scorer was down on that low block.
What an effort. And it's so important, because we almost need to come away with some production on every possession from here on through the end. So let's hope he can make both free throws.
He hits the first one. On the season, he's shooting 73%. Kyle Young's going to come out. The Saints are going to go small here with Bain, Collier, Bryant, Omar, and Book Knight on the court. Mays, Stanford, Pugh, Cooper, and Moore are the 5 on the floor for the Bearcats. Saints come out in full court man pressure. Cooper able to break that press well and go right downhill. Take a floater. Brooke Knight confused about the foul there. I think he caught or went straight up on that Cooper drive. That'll be Brooke Knight's second personal.
That is really unfortunate because I thought Cooper made a big mistake. We definitely had walled up right at the top of the horseshoe there in the lane. And, I think Jax may have got a little bit more of them than he wanted to admit. But that to me was a reckless drive given that they're up and time is on their side right now.
Cooper able to hit both at the line, sending this to a 7-point Bearcat lead. Brooke Knight getting downhill, finding Collier on the low block. Brooke Knight looking to penetrate. Has Pugh. Fall-away jumpers, good. Beautiful fadeaway there for Jax Brooke Knight.
So here's the third moment in the second half, Jordan, where we have the differential at 5 points. We need a stop here.
Floater from Cooper is just short. Saints able to corral the rebound. One of those stops you were talking about, potential watershed moment here for the Saints. Brooke Knight getting downhill, his layup just off. Rebound secured by the Bearcats. Moore, his layup is off.
Okay, settle down, Saints. 5-point differential, 3.5 minutes left. This is a really important possession.
Bryant attacking, going right into the outstretched arms of Stanford. Contact didn't matter. A grown man finish for Malik Bryant. He has 12 tonight. A timeout called.
I'll tell you what, Jordan. If that had been with NBA referees, they would have called a foul on that. No question about it. So I give credit to Malik. We need him, as we said at the beginning of the game, to step up tonight. And look what he's done so far.
An efficient 12 points. And I love the gumption to not fall away on that shot attempt, but take it right into the teeth of the defense. Try and get that whistle. He didn't get the whistle, but that just sets the tone here. Saints get it to within 3.
Yeah, you can't work any harder than that to come away with something. And every basket that he has made tonight has been in that category. I mean, he has basically willed himself to score these points, and we need it. I mean, here we are. What did we say earlier? That when they played back up at Lander, it was a 97-86 game. We're going to be lucky to get into the 70s the rate things are going right now. So it's going to be defense, and it's going to be execution.
Some would say some old school playoff basketball here at Flagler Gymnasium. Bryant, 10 of his 12 coming within the paint. He's 0 for 2 from 3. The other 2 of his points coming from the charity stripe. It's going to be Bearcat possession with 3:11 left here in the second half. Up top here, Cooper. Cooper with 14 gets it to Stanford.
That looked like a travel to me.
Hard attack there off the press. Cooper pull up 3, short. Good footwork and balance there from Jax to stay in bounds. Collier.
Good decision by Tyler not to force that pass there.
3-pointer, Bryant. Bang! Saints tie it up at 66.
Thank you, Malik Bryant. Right now, that's the shot of the game.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments, and Malik Bryant did just that as he scored the last 5 here for the Saints. Colvin up top. Going to be more attacking off the catch. Stanford corner 3, off the back rim and out. Bain trying to drive baseline. Saints going to set up their offense here. Get their first lead of the game since the beginning moments as Malik Bryant spinning and finishing there. First lead for the Saints since 1923 left in the second half. Saints now with a lead with just under a minute 30 left.
Did you just say, Jordan, big-time players make big-time moves? What a fantastic 360 spin.
And some great hustle and defensive prowess there from Jax Bouknight.
And he did call a timeout before the ball was tied up, so we maintain possession because the possession arrow is not in our favor right now, so that's even more important.
Saints going to have an opportunity to extend their lead here after the Cooper turnover. Gotta love to see your guards get on the floor like that.
Well, listen, we earned that, and one thing that has happened when we talk about maybe players trying to do too much, Cooper has missed his last 3 shots, and he has forced his offense. The last one being an off-balance jumper from just above the free throw line, but previous to that, he came into a wall and tried to put a teardrop up off of pressure and missed both of those, which Flagler turned around and came down the end of the court and scored. So we have made up in the past minute and a half a 6-point deficit and with an 8-point run, and we're up 2 points. With the ball.
With the ball is the most important part. Saints nearly turning it over. Collier able to collect the tipped pass in the backcourt. Saints could take some time off the clock here. Bouknight getting downhill. Finds a beautiful pass to the backdoor cutting of Omar Figueroa for the 2. Saints lead by 4 with a minute 15 left, or a minute left in the ball game. And a timeout taken as head coach for the Bearcats, Omar Wadded, very animated on the sideline. It was a beautiful backdoor cut and some great offense there from the Saints.
I'm thinking that he might be taking a moment. I don't know if he was questioning the last play or if he was questioning the timeout call at half court, whether he thought that his player had tied the ball up before the timeout was called. And it was right in front of us here. And I saw Jax throw his hand for timeout before the Lander defender put his hand on the ball. So it was a good call by the officiating crew.
Saints lead by 4 here, have come back in the second half. This is actually their largest lead of the game. And that was a great time to have it.
Well, that last play, Jordan, where Jax went down the right-hand side, and he kind of hesitated first. He looked at the rim, and it was a nice fake, and the Lander defender moved just a little bit. So when he put it to the floor, he had an advantage, and the Lander defender came over to help, and he dropped that beautiful bounce pass. And I mean, the timing, you had to see it. Omar waited to just the right moment to make his backdoor cut. The pass went off the floor right to his hand, and he reverse layupped in. That's basketball.
Beautiful basketball at that. Head coach Blake Sellen has to be happy with the offensive execution late in this ball game here for the Saints. The Saints are able to hold on. We're going to take some tiebreakers here with Augusta and North Georgia, both tied at 13-4 on the season, but the Saints are able to squeak into the playoffs if they're able to win this game. We'll face off with either Augusta or North Georgia. You've seen the Saints play all year. Who do you think's a better matchup in the Saints' favor?
I think that they'd be better off playing North Georgia. They did beat Augusta earlier in the year, but Augusta beat us fairly handily down the stretch. And I'd rather wait to face them in the semifinals or finals, especially with Crawford 7 foot inside. That's a big task to try to hold that team down.
50 seconds left here. Cooper up top. Kick it to Stanford. Stanford skying and slamming here. Makes it a 4-point ball game. Book Knight trapped here in the backcourt. Throws a pass to Collier. Collier nearly traveled. Saints need to get it over half court. Book Knight able to do just that.
Right at the 10-second mark. I mean, his foot hit and the shot clock hit 20. I mean, he just got it over.
10 seconds left. Book Knight up top. Saints lead by 2. They're going to get into Bryant at the free throw line. Bryant's double teamed and fouled. And he will head to the line here for some clutch free throws. Cooper, that's his second personal foul. Just a bit too enthusiastic on the double team at the free throw line. Bryant on the year shooting 73% from the charity stripe. Hits the first of 2 to give the Saints a 3-point advantage with 18 seconds left here.
Oh, this is a big one here. This will give us the 4-point lead, negating any tie in case someone hits a 3.
Ice in his veins for Malik Bryant. He has 18 today on 7 of 10 shoot, or 19 today on 7 of 10 shooting. Cooper getting downhill. Looks like it could have been a bit of a push-off there. And we're going to have an injured Lander Bearcat.
Well, you kind of knew, Jordan, that Cooper was going to have the ball in his hands. And I thought we made a good decision at the end not to come in and try to block. The thing that any coach is going to question is, where was the transition defense to try to veer him away? I mean, he's a heck of a player, and he's going to find a way to get to the rim. Now it's just going to be a question of our composure, getting the ball in and withstanding the pressure that Lander is going to put on. And they brought Abject back in the game to cover the baseline.
Saints able to get it in here to Book Knight. Book Knight showed off the handle there with 7 seconds left. Gets it to Omar, who will be fouled and head to the line here for 2. It's going to come down to free throws with just under 5 seconds left on the clock. Looks like there could have been a couple fouls called in the back.
Well, I'm gonna date myself and say I want to have a replay of Jack's Book Knight going up the sideline, cutting across the middle, getting over half court. He looked like the Bob Cousy of old. I mean, behind the back, through his legs, and he was chopped at least twice, as you said. And he earned that.
That one misses, and we're going to have an opportunity here for the Bearcats, down by 3 with 4 seconds left on the clock. It's going to be a huge inbounds play here. 4 seconds, you got time for maybe 2 dribbles and a 3-pointer.
So let's see what Coach Selland does here. You noticed on the Flagler Saint inbound that he brought number 20, who has not played at all in the second half. they brought him in to cover the baseline inbounder to make it difficult to get through the arms and legs. So I see Kyle Young on the floor. I'm going to say he's going to be all over the inbounder to make it as difficult as possible. So here we go.
Inbounding here is going to be McKay. Flagler is going to take a timeout here. Back-to-back timeouts. I'm going to thank a few of our corporate sponsors here.
So ideally, what we want here is to make Lander have to inbound the ball at an angle where their guards are getting it below the free throw line on this end of the court and making them put it to the floor and use that clock up so that when the three-point whatever shot they throw up, they're probably going to get over half court, somewhere maybe halfway between half court and the top of the three-point line, and let it go. What we don't want is an inbound to half court or something where no time starts until the offensive player catches the ball. Now they've got time to set a screen, take a couple dribbles, and get into position to take a good look at a three.
Do you think about fouling here? It's a three-point ball game. Only four and a half seconds left on the clock. Foul immediately on the catch. They head to the line for two. You still have that 1 point lead. Something to think about here.
Well, let's see where Mr. Jacob Cooper is. Okay, Omar is covering him.
Got Bain on Pugh, Book Knight and Bryant down on Moore. They're going to try to Hail Mary pass. Bryant picks it up, and that will do it for the Saints as they head to the playoffs. A huge victory and a huge second half comeback powered by 19 points from Malik Bryant and 20 for Omar Figueroa. A huge senior day victory for the Saints.
Well, Jordan, as we said, we did not want Lander catching the ball at midcourt or any place across midcourt, giving them time to work a play. And I'm not sure who it was that cut across, if he got a hand on the ball, but he got in front of the Lander offensive player, and the ball skipped over the two of them, and I think Jack Spocknight caught it, and that was game time.
Game time. And the Saints, next game's to be announced. It's going to be either against Augusta or North Georgia. But thank you for tuning in. Great senior day action here for the Saints.
And I wanted to add, Jordan, we purposely didn't want to discuss playoff scenarios because we knew that Coach Blake said we just want to win and go into the playoffs. I never checked during our timeouts here to see how Georgia College was making out of their game, because if we had lost and Georgia College won, they would have won in a tiebreaker and we would not be in the playoffs. So this was an absolutely great comeback and a huge win for the Flagler Saints men's basketball team.
Well, as for me, Jordan Fauci, along with assistant coach for the Flagler women's team, Joe Harding, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for more Saints athletics action here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Goodbye.